I'm Jeanette Keynes from Jewelry Arts Inc. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make a gorgeous molten style ring. You will love it.
So you see, we have this beautiful piece of metal here that we're going to make into a ring shank. Now, we did get a little crack on the end accidentally. So I said to myself, why don't we melt the edges of this a little bit? It'll heal our crack there. And then also, it gives a really beautiful organic effect. And if you don't like it, we can always like hammer it or mill it or whatever. But so all you're gonna do is you need to put this on charcoal and on something really flat, because if you know it's not really supported, it'll just like, that's the technical term. So this is a really great technique. You can do it in gold, you can use it in silver. It's basically just melting, I mean, really, you know. But you can get such beautiful effects. So you see how I have my flame right next to it, and I'm kind of, the heat is concentrating on the edge, and then you see that how it melts a little bit. So I'm gonna work my way down. So the trick, quote unquote, is to do it, but not do it so much that you melt it completely. If you melted it completely, we would just mill it out again, like the world wouldn't end, but that's not what I'm going for. You see how you get a little bubbles and it melts a little? See, and now our little crack there is fixed. Because basically I'm gonna go all the way down, and then I'm gonna flip this around, do the same thing on the other side. Now, if you like the finish the way it is right now, great. If you want it even more, we can do even more. You know what I mean? Like we can, so I'm gonna do the other side. I mean, that's the great thing, is that metal does such beautiful things on its own, that even though my urge is always to do 600 things to it, sometimes just letting the metal do what the metal wants to do anyway is a beautiful thing. You just, like I said, you just have to be careful, because you notice I kind of do it and pull the heat away and look at it a little and pull the heat away. And also this is great if you get a few little cracks on the edges, you know, you can saw them off, but this is just another way of going about it. Okay, so I'm gonna stop, and I want you to look at it. It gives you this beautiful sort of thing happening, which I like very much, but it's up to you. Like, we could do a little more, we could leave it the way it is. What do you think?
I'm gonna tickle it and see what it looks like.
And think deep thoughts, exactly right. Because it's lovely the way it is. We could always do it, like, if we wanted even more, we maybe even go to a smaller tip and like focus on little spots, but it makes a beautiful finish. It really does. So yeah, let it cool, pickle it, and then we'll look at it.
I love the efficacy of the edges like that.
Oh yeah, who doesn't like that? Okay?
What they made out of.
So here's our nice texture. And basically we have two choices, because we have this side and we have that side.
One more time.
This side. And then we also have that side, so we can pick whichever one we like the most. But molten effects are really great. Now, what we're gonna do next is basically we're just gonna cut the end nice and straight, and then we'll cut the other side nice and straight, and we'll start whacking it together to make a ring. So all I did was took a ruler and sort of did a guesstimate of a line, and we're gonna set up to saw. I don't use the third arm and I don't use the bench pin a lot, because I really don't like getting poked in the boobs all day. However, for stuff like this, it is a necessity. Okay. Just gonna lean this forward so that you get a little nick. And here's the thing about sawing too. I can't emphasize enough how clenching is the worst thing that you can do for yourself. It's bad for your tendons and your wrists and everything, and it will tire you out, and it doesn't make you go faster, so it has 0 pluses. So when you saw, usually I really want to like do something like this, not the Kung Fu grip.
Really?
Yes.
A lifelong habit for the group. Yeah.
Yes, and it is not a good thing. It It has no benefit because it actually usually makes you break more saw blades and stuff like that, so you don't go faster. No advantage. You want to like unclench.
I've heard that you're supposed to hold it the way you would hold like an animal, like a squirrel, you know? Like, you don't want to kill it. Just want to pet it.
Well, if everyone knows the appropriate amount to hold a squirrel, we can use that.
That's another video.
But definitely, yeah, I'm like, that's like a whole other, but not clenching is the way to go. You know, generally speaking, almost any tool, like I'm holding it just enough to keep it from dropping on the floor. Same thing when I'm filing and everything, like just enough to hold on to it. Okay, and I've got my little notch here. You see what I'm saying? You're not clenching. Okay, so that's the whole key. Anytime you're squeezing, anytime it hurts, stop. Okay? Yeah. And also we'll get a little bit of a lube for the blade, you know, it just helps it to move along. Okay? Perfect, thank you. So you see the beautiful shank that we have here. You know, we kind of filed the ends straight and sawed a little bit and lined them up. However, because this is melted in irregular, you see how you have like little areas that don't quite match up with each other. Now, we could saw them off, but then the edges would be straight and the rest of it would not be straight, you know what I mean? So for me, I say I'm gonna take a torch and we're gonna melt those little edges a little bit so that it sort of blends together. I'm gonna move down to a slightly smaller tip because I need a little more control. Zero, beautiful. And I'm just gonna like melt this edge in a little and then I'm gonna flip it over so that it looks, you know, contiguous. You know what I'm saying? That's what we want. And we're gonna do that before we solder because soldering happens at a slightly lower temperature than melting. So we're gonna do whatever melting we have to do, just with granulation. Granulation, fuse, you know, melting, whatever, and then soldering comes after. So, okay. In front of me like so. I love this technique because no two are ever the same. And you can really make the most beautiful effects. So you see how I'm heating the side with the corner. Now, if you get too carried away, you know, you could kind of melt the whole thing, which is not what we're going for. But you see now, you know what I mean? They match in their unmatching kind of way. Now I'm going to flip it over and we'll do the same thing to that hard edge right there.
Deliberately introducing blood inside.
And you just kind of need a light touch. So you see how now we've got kind of a nice irregular edge instead of that sort of chopped off edge that will, you know, kind of draw your eye. I'm going to do just a bit there, more right there. There we go. So you see what I mean? You're not trying to make it even. You're just trying to make it look like it has that same kind of molten effect. Because any kind of hard stop or edge, you know what I mean, is not going to look right. Okay? So let it cool, pickle it, you know, we'll saw through the seam and get it together and we'll solder it. But it doesn't really take a lot, but then that way it really looks, you know what I mean. Okay? Yeah. That's the technical term.